Good morning and happy Friday, my amazing friends. I have a message for you this morning that I feel compelled to share with you. I've had a few coaching sessions in regards to self mastery and really focusing on ourselves. So this morning, I'm going to challenge everyone to be a little selfish. I want us to be a little bit selfish. I want us to be selfish so we can be more generous. I want us to be selfish so we can help more people. Let me explain. See, if we fill our cup first, if we focus on ourselves first, especially in the morning, if we're committed to filling ourselves, investing into ourselves, then we can go out into the world, we can go out to the community, we can go out into our place of employment, in our families, and we can contribute at a higher level. So there's an Irish poet by the name of Oscar Wilde, and his quote is, "Be yourself, everyone else is already taken." Write that down. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. So I want to talk a little bit today. I've got a couple of key points that I want to bring up that maybe this resonates with just one person. The reason for this video, it sure as heck isn't to hear myself speak. I do that all day long. But I really want to help just one person today, all right? A lot of us, we kind of get in our own way. We get stuck in our head. A lot of the things that go on in our head, the distractions, typically don't come to fruition, right? We need to get out of our own way. I want to talk today a little bit about investing in ourselves. First, I want to explain this. You are worthy, okay? You are loved, and you have some skills and talents, all right? You may not believe that, but it's true. So I just want to lay the foundation with this. All right, so let's talk about ourselves for a minute. Now, what you see is not always true. All right. So a lot of times we compare ourselves to other people and we want to be like this person, or we desire to be or have that person things in life. I challenge all of us to kind of stop the madness on that. You need to invest in you. So when somebody, I was at the gas station the other day and I had a kid pull up, and it was a really it was humbling, actually. It was a wonderful conversation. This young man was in college. He's an athlete. Starts asking me questions. I mean, it was a really wonderful conversation. And we ended with, like, he said to me, he goes, "I want to be like you when I get older." And I immediately stopped him. I said, "No, you don't. You want to be like you when you grow up. Never compare yourself to other people, young man. You need to compare yourself to the individual that you were yesterday." I told him that. He looked at me and goes, "Wow, I like that." I said, "Remember that. Write that down. Compare yourself to the individual that you were yesterday and never compare yourself to other people." And I challenge all of us to do that. It's critical, absolutely critical. That's who we compare ourselves to, not others. Okay, not saying we shouldn't study other people doing great things. It's a good thing to study patterns and study habits and traits. That's a good thing. But we want to be a better version of ourselves, not somebody else. And we need to compare ourselves to who we were yesterday. So number one is, what you see online and what you see other people doing may not always be the case. So stop comparing yourself to others. Stop wishing that you had that person's life or that person's house or that person's boat or that person's car or that person's job. Don't stop doing that. All right. That's the first thing I want to bring up. And then the second thing I want to bring up is very important. This is something that can change your life today. People pleasing and approval addiction and validation will lead to a life of misery. Okay. So there are so many of us that want to please everyone. I'm guilty of that in the past. I wanted to say yes to everyone. I wanted to go to every engagement. I wanted to be everywhere at all times. I never wanted to miss an event. And I just didn't want to let people down. And then I found myself so overwhelmed and I wasn't investing in myself. So understand that you just can't make everybody happy all the time. Okay. People pleasing will lead to a life of misery. A friend of mine, Katie Shear, I was sitting in her dining room, I don't know, it might have been 5 or 6 years ago. And she said, "Adam, my life got better when I learned to say no." When I just, if I don't want to go do something, I'm just not going to do it. Now, there are things that I do that I don't always necessarily want to do that I do out of obligation. And I don't think I'm ever going to 100% get away from that. But I did learn the beautiful word and the art of utilizing the word no. So understand something. You just can't make everybody happy, and that's okay. And having validation and approval from everyone will lead to a life of misery, my friends. So understand something. You don't need validation from everyone. You don't need everyone's opinion, and you don't need everyone to like you, and you don't need to say yes to everything. Understand that. This is something that will help you serve yourself. All right. It sounds selfish, but it leads to good stuff. I'll go over that here in a minute. And then the next thing I want to talk about is the best investment you can ever make. It's not your 401k. It's not your IRA. It's not your house. Okay. Those are great investment vehicles. Don't get me wrong. But the best investment you can ever make is into yourself. It's in your personal mastery. Okay. See, I am kind of a personal development junkie in a sense that the ability to acquire information and learn new things and connect with new people to do different stuff, it is exhilarating. It's truly exhilarating. I mean, the journey, see, there's no final destination, y'all. A life of personal mastery, there's no destination. It's a journey that never ends. And every single day brings new challenges and journey and thought-provoking conversations. And it's brilliant. So I challenge you to invest into yourself, invest into your physical health, your mental health, invest into your career, invest into your relationship with your spouse, invest into your children, your family, invest into your social circles. All right. Those areas right there, we need to water all of those buckets. Invest in you because you deserve it. And the more you invest in yourself, the higher you can lead people, the more capable you can lead people, the better parent you become, the better friend you are, the better resource you are to other people after you invest in yourself. It's not selfish. I told you earlier, let's be selfish for a minute. Yeah, there's a reason for that because it seems selfish to focus on ourselves. But by doing that, we're fueling ourselves to give back to people at a much higher capacity. And the last thing I want to bring up, I wanted to go 10 minutes on this live and I'm at 8 minutes. Pretty good timing. The last thing is our lives are unique. All right. Each and every one of us, we were hardwired specifically to go do great things. We were all given gifts and talents. Okay. And I'm going to expand on that here in a minute, but we were all given gifts and talents, but unfortunately we have an expiration date. We have an expiration date. See, my faith tells me that this earthly assignment is short and it's temporary, and I have a place where I'm ultimately meant to be. See, I believe that. So I have comfort in that. However, I have a lot of work to do here on earth, and I'm just scratching the surface. But understanding that I am special and I'm unique, and unfortunately, we have an expiration date, allows me to dial myself in, have a morning routine, have structure. I invest in the buckets because I'm trying to get a little better today than I was yesterday so I can help people at a higher capacity. So the reason I share this message today is because I want you to be yourself, because just like Oscar Wilde says, everyone else is already taken. What are we really doing? What does it really matter? Who cares what everyone really thinks? I mean, yeah, does it matter what your spouse thinks and your kids think and your circle and your clients and your close? Yes, it does matter, but does it really in the grand scheme of things? Life is short. We're here for a minute. We blink and the decades feel like years. Being in the car business for a long time, the years feel like months and the months feel like days. It's fact. So let's recap for a minute here. What you see is not always real, right? So understand you're obsessing and trying to be like somebody else, but that somebody else that you're obsessing to be like may not be what you really want to be. So be you. All right. Second thing is approval addiction and people pleasing. It leads to a life of misery. Stop saying yes to everything. You're not going to make everyone happy, and you're not everyone's cup of tea. But that's okay because you drink champagne anyway, right? And number three, the best investment you can make is in you. Put yourself first so then you can go out and be a blessing to the community and to the world around you. And then the last thing is this: you're unique and you're special, and you're a gift from God, and you have these abilities, right? But understand that you have a short period of time to go out and make a difference. So get going today. I'm going to end on this note. All right. I'm going to end on this very, very important note. Okay. I see so many people that have so much brilliance inside of them, so much knowledge up here. And I see a lack of action. So all of this knowledge and brilliance, it just kind of dies on the vine. So I challenge you, make a decision on what you truly want. Write out a written plan of action on how you're going to get that thing that you want. Find somebody doing a little more than you in life. There's different levels, y'all. Find somebody doing more than you and say, hey, listen, will you help me? Will you mentor me? Here's what I want to do. Here's my plan of action. Will you hold it accountable for me? And by doing that, you will elevate. Now, here's the magic bullet: is you have to take psychotic action on all of those things. All right. So if you have a goal with no plan of action, it's just a goal. And if you have a goal and a plan of action without accountability, it's going to be a little more difficult to hit the target. If you have a goal with a plan of action with an accountability partner, and then you take crazy action, you will probably hit your target. I'm not saying you're not going to fall short. We all fall short at times, but the realistic expectation should be hit because you did those things. So take action, guys. Go out into the world. Let's be a better contributor. Happy Friday. Have a blessed weekend. I appreciate your time this morning.